Hello, my name is Emily Williams, and today I'll be talking about some thespians, and specifically the character Gollum from the Hobbit and Lord of the Rings trilogy and the man behind his motion capture, Andy Serkis. Gollum first appeared as a character in the 1937 children's fantasy novel The Hobbit, written by J.R.R. Tolkien. A cave-dwelling frog-like creature with a bad tickle in his throat that is possessed by the power of the One Ring. He appeared again in 1954 during the Fellowship of the Ring, and in the following books Two Towers and Return of the King. Over the years, many filmmakers have adapted Tolkien's acclaimed trilogy and have brought Gollum to the silver screen in a variety of forms. The image to the right is the Rankin-Bass 1977 adaptation of Gollum, and to the left is the Ralph Bakshi interpretation in 1978. As you can see, Gollum has had a variety of looks over the years, from frog-like to human-esque, and in this next slide we get a closer look into the history of Gollum before he became the iconic creature audiences know him as. This is the story of Smeagol. Currently, Peter Jackson's interpretation of Gollum is the most popular and acclaimed of the time. However, from that transition period that we just witnessed, it appears as if Peter Jackson has derived a lot of his inspiration for the ultimate appearance of Gollum from both Bakshi and Rankin and Bass's interpretation. Gollum is the driving force behind the entire plot of The Hobbit and Lord of the Rings trilogy, and when Peter Jackson went about making the trilogy back in the 2000s, he always had the character in mind. Gollum proved to be one of the most difficult characters to bring to life, taking weeks just to get the basic concept art. But without him, the movies would never have been so successful. Peter Jackson has been quoted saying that if Gollum wasn't believable, if he fundamentally did not work, you were going to kill not just the Two Towers, but also the Return of the King. Initially, Jackson wanted to make the character entirely CG, with only a voice actor behind him. This is the initial model that was going to be used for the animation of Gollum. With Gollum finally done, as far as appearance-wise, Jackson now needed his voice. This is where Andy Serkis came in. Initially, the actor did not want a voice role. He wanted to be more acclaimed as a professional actor than a voice actor. But after reading the books and realizing the importance of the role, he jumped at the chance to be part of the films. It was during his readings that the entire concept in which Gollum was to be acted out was changed. Serkis's complete body involvement in his reading, the way his face and body would contort with emotion and feeling as he read his lines, Jackson decided then and there to use motion capture. Jackson was quoted saying that the voice and facial expressions and the energy are related. You can't separate the two. So to do Gollum entirely in CG would not work. This next slide shows Serkis and how much of Gollum he actually makes up.
Wicked, witty, false. No, master. Yes, precious, false. They will cheat you, hurt you, lie. Master's my friend. You don't have any friends. Nobody likes you. Not listening. Not listening. You're a liar. And a thief. No. Murderer. Go away. Go away. I hate you. I hate you. Where would you be without me? Helen, Helen, I saved us. It was me. We survived because of me.
Gollum indeed survived as a character because of Circus. Gollum's performance in The Lord of the Rings is highly acclaimed by critics. It is known as one of the most emotionally invoking performances ever done by a CG character. Dan North was quoted in regards to Gollum and his performance in Lord of the Rings that the character's face, assembled from pixels and programming, correspond to emotional cues for the spectator to interpret. The computer's ability to convey those effects is what renders them spectacular. Moments in the film, such as the previously seen schizophrenia moment between Smeagol, the good side, and Gollum, the corrupted side, highlight the emotion that can be seen clearly in this animated performance. Gollum's eyes are the most amazingly expressive eyes to be seen on a CG character and have set the standard for many other motion capture and CG characters to come after him as far as expressiveness and eye movements. The impressive expressiveness that Gollum can convey almost makes you forget that there is someone other than Gollum himself creating this performance. It is as if Gollum has taken a life of his own away from Circus, but yet, because of Circus, is why he has his life. However, many fans have considered Gollum to be an actor in his own right, and he has won the MTV Award for Best Animated Performance.
And I am delighted to receive this award on behalf of everybody who brought Gollum to life. Can't actually be with you this evening because we're down in New Zealand completing more shots on Gollum for Return of the King. I'm actually in the motion capture studio where we do a lot of Gollum. I would like to say a big thank you to all the MTV fans, to the Lord of the Rings fans, and to everybody who worked on Gollum. It is a complete marriage of skills.
You're a liar. And the thief, it's mine. I won it. It was me. We only won because of me. And me. MTV is my friend. My friend. You don't have any friends. Nobody likes you.
However, even though Gollum claims it was all him, all of his success as a character derives from Circus. For the remainder of this presentation, I'll be talking about Circus's history as an actor and his ability to bring life to a character composed pretty much entirely of computer-generated cells. Circus has been acting since 1989, and he began his career at Duke's Playhouse in Lancaster, England. After Duke's, he went to work on touring theatre companies across the UK, performing Shakespearean plays such as Hamlet, Macbeth, Othello, and Romeo and Juliet, showcasing his ability as a live-action performer. However, during his time with the touring companies, he never made any money, and he was moving from town to town every week, not really having a permanent place to settle until he landed the role of Gollum in 1999 in New Zealand with Peter Jackson. The role of Gollum was a turning point for Circus in his career, and it highlighted his talents as an actor better than his touring career ever did. The physical challenges he set for himself set him apart from his co-stars, who are more obviously seen within the film. His ability to get out there and perform, rolling over rocks and climbing down steep faces, interacting with characters who are constantly throwing him around or bashing him against things, just showcases his determination to make the role as lifelike as possible. Since the success of The Lord of the Rings, he has continued traditional acting, but with the success of Gollum as a CGI, he has also turned a lot of his work primarily to CGI work, and he even has his own CG studio called Imaginarium Studios, and currently they are working on a motion capture CG animated production of the George Orwell novel Animal Farm. Some of Circus's most famous roles since Gollum have been Captain Haddock of Adventures of Tintin in 2011, Caesar, Rise of the Planet of the Apes, 2011, and Kong of the 2005 King Kong. When Peter Jackson began production for The Hobbit to be released in 2012, there was no one else who could have possibly replaced Serkis as Gollum. The character was brought back, as well as the man who created him, and both with a remarkable makeover.
Gollum is one of the most beloved digital characters ever created, and he's back and completely reconstructed for The Hobbit, An Unexpected Journey. We added fine dirt, skin defects, and layers of cracked skin to bring out detail in his textures and shading. In addition, we added peach fuzz to his ears and face, and also gave him a little haircut. Audiences generally connect with the character's eyes, and Gollum's were completely reconstructed. Special attention was paid to the caustics and the muscle movements around the eyes. Because Gollum's eyes are so large, we also found we needed to animate extra eye darts in places to keep him looking alive. In addition to using a full tissue simulation rig for Gollum's body, we rebuilt Gollum's facial puppet to take advantage of our fact solver.
Behind Gollum's success is Andy Serkis. Without him, there would be no Gollum. His voice acting was spectacular, but his actions, along with his voice, was what really drove Peter Jackson to creating such a successful creature such as Gollum. Peter Jackson has said of Andy Serkis that, for me, he is Gollum. And while Serkis performed his character, he had felt underappreciated at times on the set of Lord of the Rings, especially when performing next to co-star Sean Astin, as Astin considered his role to be that of more of a placement than an actual character. However, turn around when the films came out, they realized just how important and vital Andy Serkis was to the success of not only the film, but the character of Gollum. When Serkis was brought back to finish his legacy in The Hobbit, this clip showcases his ability to return after 10 years to reprise the same role with exactly the same caliber of talent as he did 10 years prior.
Blesses and splashes, precious. That's a meaty mouthful.
Back. Stay back. I'm warning you. Don't come any closer.
It's got an elfish blade, but it's not an elf's. Not an elf's, no. What is it, precious? What is it?
My name is Bilbo Baggins.
Bagginses. What is a Bagginses, precious?
On the character of Gollum, Serkis has remarked that Gollum has been such a huge part of my life. He represented a turning point in terms of creating a particular method of playing a role, and took me from the world of conventional live action acting to another form of acting, which has dominated the last 12 years of my life. I think of him affectionately. In conclusion, the overall success of the performance of the CG role of Gollum is owed entirely to Serkis. The empathy that can be felt when watching the poor creature on film is entirely Serkis. His ability as an actor shined beyond the CG animated character that overlapped him. His complete bodily involvement in the making of the character is where all the success derives from. Without him and his talent as an actor, the character never would have been quite as popular, as emphatic, as emotion-inducing as he was. And while Serkis' career definitely took off after this role, it is not because Gollum is the reason that pushed him towards it. It is because he as an actor pushed Gollum into the spotlight. In conclusion, here are my bibliography and works cited pages. Thank you.